Hello guys, and welcome to this new video. In this video, I will unbox the Lenovo IdeaPad Duet 5, which is a Chromebook 2-in-1 device, similar to the original Duet and HP X211, and I will also give my first impression of this device. But before we get started, I want to highlight some of the top features of the Duet 5. Some of these features are highlighted on the packaging. For example, the device has the Snapdragon 7C Generation 2 processor, which is slight improvement to the first generation, which was found in the HP X211. The device offers 13.3-inch OLED screen with aspect ratio of 16:9. It has also full HD resolution. It has quad speakers. That means 4 speakers, 2 in each side of the device, and it should be slightly louder than the original Duet. It has 2-in-1 functionality. That means that the keyboard and the back cover or the stand are included inside of the package here, so you can use a laptop or tablet. And it has full day battery life thanks to the 42 watt-hour battery, and it also has 30 watt adapter inside of the box, which offers fast charging. The model which I have here is the base model. That means that it has only 4 GB of memory and 64 GB of eMMC storage. Of course, you can purchase this device with different memories and storages up to 8 GB of memory and 256 GB of storage. Hope you guys will enjoy this video and the unboxing of the Lenovo IdeaPad Duet 5. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and stay tuned for more reviews. So let's get started and unbox the device. Here we have the Lenovo icon here, which you can pull and easily get rid of the plastic foil around the packaging here. It's really useful to have it, then you don't need a knife or any scissor to open the plastic foil here. So now we can start to open the packaging here, open the top cover here and get access to what's inside of it, and to see what is inside of this box is included. I'm trying to open it right now. It's not coming off that easy. Now I made it. I will start with the small compartment here, the small packaging here, to see what is inside of this small box here. That's the easiest way to start this video. First thing first, we see the USB-C power adapter here, which is also small and handy, and it's also 30 watt, which can offer also the fast charging. Oh, it's good that we have the dongle inside, so that's also good to see that we have the USB-C to audio jack dongle here, which you can connect your audio devices. And we have, of course, the USB-C to USB-C cable. It doesn't look that long, but it should be useful, at least that it's included inside of the box. I will put these parts aside so we can continue with the unboxing. I will take the upper packaging right now to see what's included here. Most probably the back cover and also the cable are included inside of this package here. Yeah, that's it is. Then we have the inside of this folio here. We have the back cover and also the keyboard included. So let's have a closer look of these two pieces. I will start with the keyboard. The keyboard has a full size here. The keys are also large and there's a good key travel here. It also makes it a little bit louder than the original Duet. The trackpad is also nice, larger, and it feels smooth, but I don't think it's a glass here. And on the back of the keyboard we have this fabric, which is also makes it comfortable to hold. So let's have a look at the back cover here. The back cover also has the same fabric similar to the keyboard. It has this middle hinge in the middle, which I immediately noticed, which will make it a little bit annoying to use it on the flat surface. It will wobble. And also we can see the hole for the pen, which is actually not included inside of this package because I didn't buy the variant with the pen included. So now let's move to the device itself. First thing first, I will get rid of this plastic foil here. So the model which I have here is the dark gray variant. Unfortunately, in Germany, you only can get the dark gray one. And the first thing that you immediately realize is the tall aspect ratio here, which I don't know how it will feel in the tablet mode, but the build quality is also good. The device is also thin. It's thinner than the HP X211 for sure. I can see that immediately. And the screen, the bezels and the sides are really thin. I hope that it will not cause any problem with the accidental touch. And we see the volume rockers there, which are a little bit small, and also the power on and power off button here. So I will put the device aside for now to see what else is included inside of the packaging here. Most probably we will find the paperwork and that should be all. I don't know where it is hidden actually right now. I cannot find that. Maybe it's included on the bottom packaging here. Yeah, here there's a small compartment which is kind of hidden. You can open it and there you have the paperwork, which actually I'm not that interested. I will start with the front of the device. In the front we have 13.3-inch OLED screen with aspect ratio of 16:9, which makes the device tall, so it feels weird using it in the portrait mode as a tablet, but in the landscape mode it feels good and comfortable, but the side bezels are a little bit thin. And in the middle here we have the 5-megapixel front camera, which should be enough for the Zoom calls. Just to show you guys how tall this device, I will compare to the original Duet here with 10.1-inch screen. As you guys see, there's a quite difference how tall this device is. As I said, that could cause a little bit issue when you use it in the portrait mode as a tablet. So let's have a look at the top of the device. On the top of the device we have 2 speakers here. In general we have 4 speakers in this device. 2 of them are on the top and 2 of them are on the bottom of the device. We have 2 USB-C ports. One of them is located on the top, and there's a power on and power off button, which is also clicky, and it feels kind of similar to the original Duet. Also the size of it also similar to the original Duet. So let's have a look at the right side of the device. On the right side we have only the volume rockers here, and the volume rockers are quite small actually, and they are not that clicky. I felt like the original Duet had a better volume rocker and it was more clickier. They are a little bit shallow. I'm not that happy about these volume rockers. So let's have a look at the bottom of the device. On the bottom we have again 2 speakers here, totally 4 speakers, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, and we have the second USB-C port here. So each of the USB-C ports are located in different side of the device. On the left side of the device, or if you hold it in the landscape mode, it will be the bottom of the device. We have the pins for the keyboard connector, and that's all it is. We don't have any port or any buttons here. On the back of the Duet 5, first thing we see the 8-megapixel rear camera. It has 2 different materials here. One feels like a metal and the other one feels like a rubber. So it has 2 different textures here. Actually it looks good, and the quality, the build quality is also nice. If I shortly compare it to the original Duet, it has also the same design language. It has also 2 colors and 2 materials used there. It was blue and dark gray. Here I have only the dark gray option for the Duet 5. But as I said before, you can also get this model in dark blue. But generally the build quality is decent. Unfortunately, there is no audio jack in this device, so there is no port for it. So the only way to connect your audio devices or headphones is using this dongle here, which is the USB-C to audio jack port. Duet 5 weighs 708 grams, which is quite heavy compared to the original Duet, which I have also here. This original Duet only weighs 445 grams, which makes it perfect for one-handed use. And this Duet 5, the new one, with 13.3-inch screen, is quite heavy in my opinion. For comparison, HP X211 weighs only 581 gram, which is heavier than the original Duet, but is still lighter than the Duet 5. iPad Pro 12.9-inch weighs 640 grams, and the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Plus with 12.4-inch screen is only 575 grams. So the lighter the device, it's more comfortable to use it as a tablet. Here in the portrait mode with 2 hands it works, but with one hand it's quite heavy and you need the support from the other hand, and it's all because of this aspect ratio that we have, this tall aspect ratio. It makes it weird to use it in the portrait, but in the landscape mode it works quite good. It feels comfortable to use it with 2 hands. Another important thing for the tablet use is the thickness of the device. The thinner the device, it's more comfortable to use it as a tablet. Here Duet 5 has 7.2 millimeter thickness, which is thinner than the HP X211, which has 7.5 millimeter, and it is kind of similar to the original Duet. Original Duet has 7.35 millimeter, and Duet 5, the new one, is 7.2 millimeter. For the comparison, the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus with 12.4-inch screen is only 5.7 millimeter. Here also a short comparison of the thickness of the Duet 5 to the HP X211. HP X211 is thicker, and you can also feel it when you're holding the device in your hand. The back cover, which also works as a stand, it has a dark gray color, and also it has this fabric, which is also nice to hold. It has this hole for the camera, and also this weirdly hole for the pen, which is not included inside of the box. I thought that this pen part, at least the holder, will be included inside of the box. It is weird that it's not there. I don't know how it will work in the future. It will attach with magnet to the device, I don't know. And it has the stand functionality, which you can attach it to the device. It attaches perfectly. It aligns also automatically. However, I found that HP one has a slightly better quality in general, as the magnets are more stronger there. The stand itself is also good, but it's a little bit thin, and it's also easy to bend. It's a little bit weird quality for the stand here. You can see I can bend it easily, so it's not that sturdy. The HP one has a better quality. One issue that I have with this back cover is this hinge or this roller, which is sticking out. That means that if you put it on the flat surface, it will wobble when you try to write on it, especially using the pen if you're taking notes. It's annoying. I know it from the HP X11, which I use it as my daily driver, and this hinge is here also worse. So when you put it on the flat surface, it also wobbles much more than the Duet 5, which is quite annoying. I don't know why they decided to go with this design with the Duet 5, because I know that the old Duet didn't have this issue. The original Duet, which I have here, doesn't have this issue. So the back cover here is flat, and the hinge also works in different way. So when you place it on the flat surface, it doesn't wobble. So it makes it perfect to make notes without taking out the back cover. Now I want to talk about the keyboard. The keyboard quality is decent. It's not the best. You have the full-size keyboard. It has no backlight. If you try to bend it, it doesn't bend that easily. The key travels are also nice, and it feels a little bit loud compared to the original Duet. The trackpad is also larger than the original Duet here on the Duet 5. And it's also the same size with the HP X11. It's clicky, it's a little bit louder than the original Duet. The surface is smooth, but I doubt that it's a glass. I think the HP X11 has a better surface and it was glass there. We have the pin connectors here to attach the keyboard to the device. And at the back we have also this fabric, which also feels good to hold. I will now try to bend the keyboard to see if it will click or not. Yeah, it clicks, but you need a little bit more force to click. Now I will try to click it from the bottom. It doesn't click, so at least that's good. But if it's bended a little bit, it clicks, unfortunately. But the situation is much worse in the HP X11. Now I will attach the keyboard to the Duet 5. Now we have the laptop set up here. Before we could use it as a tablet, now it's a laptop with a stand and the keyboard. The keyboard is here flat, so it doesn't have this angle which could help with the typing, but it's not a big issue, it works quite good. Unfortunately, the keyboard is flat, as I said, so it makes it slightly uncomfortable when you're typing on it. The HP X11, on the other hand, has this angle, and it feels quite comfortable to use it. I can show it to you guys also now in this video. This angle that it's made here using these magnets on the keyboard, it makes it quite comfortable to type on it. I have also the keyboard from the original Duet here. It was also a nice keyboard. It was a silent keyboard because the key travels were much less here. It didn't make that much noise, but the new Duet 5 is much louder. The trackpad is also much larger in the new one, as I said before, as you guys see also here with the comparison. Also the keyboard size, you can also have a look at it. It's much larger here because you get more space and much larger keys here. Now I will close the whole setup to show you guys how it will look like when you want to carry it around. You will usually close the setup and you will put it inside of the bag to carry it around. And that's how it will look like. The problem is that the keyboard cover doesn't quite close the whole screen. As you guys see the black bar there, that's the screen. And it feels like the keyboard cover is small and it also moves around. So that's a very weird design issue in my opinion. The original Duet had also this issue that the keyboard, when it was attached, when it was closed, it was moving also around. But at least there, it was covering the whole screen. The good thing about the HP X11 is that the design quality is much better than these two devices, and the keyboard attaches better to the screen and it doesn't move. So for me, this black bar is a really design issue. It makes the keyboard look small for the screen. Now I want to turn on the device. for the first time to see how it works. Hopefully it has a battery and it will work. Let's see. All I need to open the cover. Usually it automatically starts. Let's see. The screen is still black. I will try to turn it on using the power button here. It kind of doesn't work. Maybe it doesn't have battery. I will try one more time. It doesn't work. Maybe I will use the power adapter to charge it. I was able to boot up the device. The screen is on. It's a beautiful OLED screen. And the side bezels are really thin, as you guys see also in this video. I need to set up the whole system now. And after I set it up, I will also show you guys how the screen quality looks like. The device is ready to use, and the first thing that you realize is how vibrant and saturated colors look like in this OLED screen. It's much beautiful than the LCD screens, there's no doubt there. Now I will try to change the wallpaper so you guys also can see different colors on this OLED screen and get an idea how good this screen looks like. Unfortunately, due to the low pixel density in this device, the text on the UI doesn't look sharp all the time, as you can see in this picture. Now I will open a Chrome browser and go to one website to see how the text will look like in this website. The text looks quite sharp actually, so it doesn't have the same issue that I found in the UI. Maybe it's the problem of the UI. I'm trying to zoom in here, and as you guys see that the text looks quite sharp here. So maybe the UI is not optimized for this pixel density that comes with the device, but generally in the website that I have here, the text looks quite sharp. The device feels snappy. I will try to open the Chrome browser, close it, open it again, close it. As you guys see, it's really snappy. The Play Store feels a little bit slower, but it's the first time that it's loading. Maybe that's because of that. But generally, the performance looks quite decent. The viewing angle is also good on this device, but I realized when I tilt the device, you can see the rainbow of the colors here, which is a little bit weird to see here on this OLED screen, which is a little bit bothering in my opinion. You don't see that in HPX 211. So this rainbow of the colors, it's a little bit weird, which is also visible in this video. Just for the comparison, I have the original Duet next to the Duet 5 here. As you guys see in this video, with the same wallpaper in the background, the colors are more saturated and vibrant on the OLED screen in the Duet 5 compared to the original Duet. Now I want to try out the keyboard. I have the Google Docs open here. I will try to type something on it to see how the keyboard will work. The key travel is good. It's also a little bit loud. I have a slight problem with this enter key here. It's quite small. Maybe that's because of the German keyboard that I have here. Maybe if you get the English keyboard, the enter key will be a little bit larger. You have here large keys, which is easy to type. You have a full size. This is also an advantage. But as I said before, there is no backlighting here. Duet 5 supports the USI standard. That means that any USI pen will work here. I have the Lenovo USI pen here, which is sitting around, which I'm not using that often. Now I will try to see if I can attach it on the back of this device. Sometimes when you are finished using the pen, you want to attach it on the device. Unfortunately, it doesn't attach on the back cover here. I don't know actually where to put it. Maybe I can try it on the side of the device. It doesn't attach there also. On the top also not. On the back also, there is no way it does. Maybe I can just put it on the keyboard. That's maybe the only place you can put the pen. I will try to write with the Lenovo USI pen, which I have here on the Squid application. The Squid application has low latency. That means that the device feels responsive to the pen input, and everything feels quite good for writing. And also this larger screen that we have here makes it comfortable to you write actually on it, because you have a larger surface to put your hand on it and rest on it. The Lenovo pen feels better than the Lenovo USI pen. I already reviewed this pen, so in my opinion the Lenovo is better than the Lenovo one, as the Lenovo one has some weird issues. But here, as you guys see, everything is good, everything is responsive, and I'm zooming in, zooming out, trying to write something. Everything works quite well. Now I want to use the device in the tablet mode here. I took out the keyboard and Chrome OS switches automatically to the tablet mode. The device is really tall. The screen aspect ratio makes it really narrow, so you can reach with your thumb to all of the icons there. You can scroll around, but the device is quite heavy, so it's a little bit not comfortable to use with one hand. With two hands it works, and everything is responsive, so you can scroll down and up, and you can put it also on the table and it will work on the flat surface. I will now switch to the landscape mode. That's another issue here. First thing, the bezels, you will see that sometimes I will get accidental touch, and also typing on the keyboard is impossible in the landscape mode. In the portrait mode it works, you can reach with your thumbs, but in the landscape mode, if you want to type something, you have to make the keyboard smaller and reachable. One of the issues that I have with this device using it in tablet mode, especially in the landscape, is that it's not easy to navigate using your thumb and reach the icons that you want. You have to stretch your thumb or you have to bend the device in order to reach it. So it makes the tablet usage a little bit unproductive. Here I try to open the Space Marshal 2, which is a game I usually open with this Chromebook 2-in-1 devices to compare their speeds, but somehow it didn't work here. It showed me the white page. Sometimes the sound was there, but nothing was loaded. Again, I tried it one more time. As you guys see, nothing happened. I tried it several times. I think it's a software problem, at least I hope. So to summarize, I can conclude that the IdeaPad Duet 5 had some issues in my first impression. For example, the back cover that we have here, it has some design issues in my opinion. The pen hole that exists here, when the pen is not included, it's weird to have this hole in my opinion. The stand is also not that stable actually, so you can easily bend it, and it's a really thin stand there. And also in the front cover, the keyboard is not completely covering the whole screen. You can see the black bar of the screen there, and it also moves easily, so it's not attaching magnetically there. So for me, that's a design failure. The 13.3-inch OLED screen is beautiful to look at. It has vibrant and saturated colors, but it has also some few issues. For example, the pixel density here is not high enough. It has only Full HD resolution. So in the system UI, you can see the pixels. And also you get this rainbow of the colors when you're trying to look at it with different angles, as I show also in this video. The 30-watt power adapter, USB-C to audio jack dongle, and USB-C cable are also included inside of the packaging. So that was it for my first impression and unboxing of the Lenovo IdeaPad Duet 5. In the next stage, I will run more tests on this device, and I will do also a review of this device, and I will also compare the performance of this device to the HP X211 and original Duet. So stay tuned for more videos, and don't forget to subscribe.